In these perilous times, see from current events how biblical prophecy is coming to pass in front of our eyes. You're watching In the Last Days, the program that looks at Israel and the end times with teaching from a Hebraic perspective. With Martin and Nathalie Blackham, thank you to our friends and partners who make this program possible. Now, here's Martin and Nathalie.
Hi, welcome to the In the Last Days television program here from our studios in Jerusalem, Israel. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching today across the UK, into Europe. Maybe you're watching by way of internet. Wherever you're watching, you're very, very welcome. We've got a very special ITLD update, and I'm here with my wife Nathalie Blackham. We're going to be talking about news from Israel. We're going to be talking about support of the program. We're going to be talking about some of the issues of Islam, and you're going to find this very interesting, and you're not going to want to miss any of it. And I think I'm going to start, Nathalie, with some emails. It's always good to receive your emails and your letters. You can contact us at info@inthelastdays.com. Now this is from Chris. And Chris writes in, she says, "Hi there, I enjoy watching your programs on Revelation TV. They're on, remember, on Sundays at 10 p.m. and Mondays at 10 a.m. and was part of the Revelation TV tour group that you spoke to in Jerusalem." So we had a great time, didn't we, Nathalie? We met with Howard and Leslie. It was great to see Howard and Leslie and the team, and all the friends who'd come from the UK and other places to be on the Revelation team. And we had a great time, didn't we? It was a really very special evening. And Chris says that she'd like to make a £50 donation. And, you know, it's really because of the support of our friends at home. It's because of your support that we're able to do this work. You know, that's it. We don't have any other funding. We do depend on donations and gifts to continue the work of In the Last Days television program, bringing you news from Israel, bringing you interviews from Israel, bringing you guests, giving you a window into the land of Israel. And we do depend on your support. So I was doing a few bits of calculation, that's it, and we currently have, let me see if I can just find this, we currently have 26 monthly partners, and we're looking to get about 100. We need to get 100. So if you would like to support us on a monthly basis, then you can get in touch with us. We have a special bank direct debit form. I don't know if I can get that on the camera, but we'll be sending you, if you'd like to support us on a monthly basis, we'll pop this to you either by email or in the post, and you just fill that in with the amount you'd like to donate and pop that to the bank, and that's all you have to do, and we can get that to you. That's if you'd like to support us on a monthly basis. You can also support us very easily through internet banking. We will email you or write to you with all the details of how you can do a direct credit, I think it's called, Nathalie, to our internet banking. And just as I finish this bit about support, the running expenses at the moment, roughly, as we speak, as we make this program, are about £3,500, and the television equipment expenses that we're looking, the money that we're looking to raise, about £10,500. So, you know, I did some maths, and I think it's 350 gifts of £10 would be enough for us to be able to meet the costs of the running expenses for the studio, and 1,050 gifts of £10 would be enough to pay for all the television equipment that we've invested in to be here. Now, the funny thing is, when you're watching, you probably think, well, there's other people who are supporting them, but you know, maybe it's you as you're watching today that it's for you to be involved with us. So do contact us. We'll be putting details on the screen how you can be in touch. There will be obviously details at the end of the program. Don't forget the website. There's a lot of information there at www.inthelastdays.com, and you can also write to us if you haven't got internet access. You can write to us at to Winham, at our address here, which is PO Box 284 Haradar 90836 in Israel. And we do, everybody who supports us, Natalie, we really appreciate them. So I don't know whether you want to start with some of the things you've got, or whether you want a few more emails.
This is very interesting what you are saying, because I went to Nashville. This was also with CFMDA, Christian Friends of Magen David Adom, because I'm working also with them. And it was very interesting. I went to a conference. No, sorry, it wasn't a conference. It was a convention of the NRB, which is the National Broadcasting. And you can see a lot of Christian broadcasters and media. And what was very interesting, there was a lot of pro-Israel thing, which was very great to see that. But again, I could see, and it makes me thinking, going over there, going to America, I could see the onslaught of Islam in America. I mean, we are used to it in Europe, unfortunately, but we can see it happening also in America. And I was thinking about all of that, and how media are very important. Christian media are very important, because a lot, okay, I will go like quite quickly because I have lots of things to say. One of the things that we are starting to see, and I will dig even more on that, if you want to receive our update, I do a weekly update, and I put some important point of what's happening, sometimes about the Bible, sometimes about the events, sometimes about like what we are discovering. And like one of the points that I want to show right now is like the media, the normal media, are getting more and more money by Islam, by Saudi Arabia, by all this very country we have oil. I was saying oily country, but it doesn't work.
Arab countries.
Yeah, Arab countries who have a lot of oil, and they have lots of money, and they want to have a grip also in the Western countries, and they know what they are doing. They really to have an influence, and when where Islam goes somewhere, they want to stay over there. Okay, roughly, the story is like the Islamist people, and I say Islamist because not all are bad, but some are even finances the media. So the Western media right now are saying more and more things pro-Islam and less pro-Christian, who are like almost post-Christian countries in Europe and even in America. Is not as much, but I can see Islam really putting a lot of money in the media. And so people can't say what they want to do. When I was thinking, oh, you know, if we were with the BBC, we will be able to say more things and touching more people. And I could hear the voice of the Lord laughing, saying, no, you will be out of your work, because if you are too pro-Israel, and if you are against Islam, I'm not speaking about against the people who are under Islam, but about the system of Islam. And again, we've done some other program, and we've done some program also with other people, and you can see it's like imperialism movements.
And it's the control of Islam in the media.
Exactly,
is the problem,
exactly.
because the freedom to speak is
exactly.
being taken away.
So you see, so the media is saying more and more things pro-Islamist, how we say, and you can't say things good about Israel. You can't say things if you are Christian. And the interesting thing, the gay movement seems to go into Islam too. I was doing some research, and I can see some even Muslims who are becoming. They open a gay mosque in France, in Paris,
and I think
in 2012.
I think the viewers, you know a lot about what's happening with this. We do get people writing to us and saying, you know, the effect.
Anyway, I know, but the thing that I wanted to say is like Islam are pouring money, I mean like thousands, into the normal media, and we have the responsibility as Christian media to say what's happening, to stand with the Torah, with the Bible, with the Word, however you want to call it. And for that, we need to finance it by ourselves. And it's us and you, and we're doing it together. And coming back from America, I was looking, you know, what do we need to do for Israel to be strong. And what do we have to do for Islam to, I mean, what do we need to do as Christians to be able to say, okay, we know what's happening now about Islam, but what do we need to do concretely? And what we need to do is to stand with Israel. And what we need to do is media is so important because it's a tool and it's the more powerful tool that God has given in our hands right now. During this time, in our period, I mean, like even 30 years ago,
Oh, it's amazing. Christian television.
Christian television, thank you, didn't almost exist and wasn't like spread as it is. Like in Europe, we had almost nothing. Thank you to Rory and Wendy Alec. They've done a lot of things, and suddenly after there was some other Christian television who've been able to, I don't know, they opened the way.
And we are very grateful to Howard and Nathalie because, you know, that we can, through television,
yes,
we can take what's happening in Israel
yes.
And the news and the problem of Islam, because, you know, one of the reasons that we had to move to Israel was because it was becoming more and more difficult, and you know this at home, it was becoming more and more difficult because of political correctness, because of fear, to talk about Israel, to talk about the threat of Islam in the UK and in Europe and in the global sense, you know, around the world. Because it was becoming more and more difficult, it was important for us to be in Israel, and the media is such an important tool. I'm going to come back to this in 1 second, but I got this email which I think you'll find very interesting. It's from Ernie, and Ernie says, keep on with the program. Thank you, Ernie. We really do, you know, when people write in, Nathalie, we really do appreciate your encouragement. And it's not just that, it's like we're partnering with you, we're working with you with the program. And I think as you know, we've been doing it since now 2004 from originally from the UK, and since 2010 broadcasting from Israel. And it's, you know, the letters and emails you send us are very valuable because we're, you know, we're filling your part that you play at home with us here in Israel. And another thing what we're very pleased to, or I was going to say proud, but it's not really the right word, but you know, that we've come across from England to represent you know, Christian television, British Christian television in Israel, and it really is a privilege to be able to come into your homes in England, across the UK, and to Scotland, Northern Ireland and other countries, but to come across to you and to bring this news from Israel. But anyway, let me keep going with this email. It's Ernie says, keep on with the program. We are truly in the last days. We have to warn them. And I think that's one of our roles in the Last Days television program, is we're like a watchman on the wall, and we're warning the people of what's coming. And then he says, I've sent a gift by post. God bless you both, and
Shalom.
Shalom. And you know, you can send gifts by post. That works really great. We have our UK representatives.
Now this is very interesting. What he's saying again is coming back from America. It was very interesting for me to go away and to have the time to think, and I can see that, you know, there is two kinds of Christians, and there is the one who have the Jewish roots, who are growing, and their faith is getting stronger, and they are standing with Israel, and a lot of them, they are seeing what's happening in the media, which is very interesting because it's what happened to us when we started to see our Jewish roots. We started to see that the media was wrong, and when we started to see that, we started to do some updates saying to the people, hey, can you see what's happening? And after that, we started a TV program, and this was because we started to have our Jewish roots, and God said, okay, now I'm giving you a way to be able to say to the people. And we know now, a lot of people know and can see, I mean, it's evidence now in Europe how Islam have come and put its feet everywhere, and in the finances. So I was looking, it's just amazing, like in London, in the city, how, you know, the Islamic finances, how high they are going. wait, I was thinking about something else. That's it. But this is we can see that, and a lot of people see that now. But we can see now the next step is to be able to. We have to strengthen Israel, because Israel is on the front line, and they have to be strong. And God has been so kind to bring us here, so we can see what's happening, and we can tell you what's happening here. What's happening in the government right now is quite exciting. You know, it's a new, so we don't know yet exactly how it's going to happen, but we can see some signs already that they want more unity. They really want some young people who are Orthodox, like really Orthodox Jews, like strictly Orthodox Jews, and who do not go to the army, but they are going to do something that they say, yes, you know, it's important for you to go to the army. And there is a unity, there is something. They are doing some Bible studies now in the Knesset. And this happened also with our friend, Rabbi Dov Lipman. He said, come on, we have to have Bible studies. So there is really things that are happening in the Knesset who are good things, and we need to strengthen Israel. And like this is, the media is so important that we can speak to you. We can be like, look, this is what's happening. And because when you are in the country is different than when you hear some stories, you know.
Sure. I mean, what's known as on the spot or eyewitness reporting is the most accurate reporting, because you can see what's happening before you. Now, what's interesting, Nathalie, is we've had an email from Eddie in the UK, and he's put, this is the subject for his email, and he's put an atheist for Israel. Now, we know that, and maybe you're not, some of our friends at home may be not aware of this, but because Revelation Television is a public service in the sense that it's available to anybody who tunes in, we have all sorts of people watching. And it's very interesting, this email. This is from Eddie in England. He says, hi Martin and Nathalie. And hi Eddie, if you're watching. I enjoyed watching your program on Revelation Television. As a secularist and non-believer, I find the idea of a Jewish state obnoxious. But, this is what he says, if ever a state organized around religion was justified, it is the Jewish state of Israel, given the world's propensity for genocidal anti-Semitism. And he goes on to say, and if ever a criticism of a state was unjustified, it is the criticism that ceaselessly flows from every corner of the Muslim world. Given the, this is what Eddie says, this is his exact words, given the genocidal aspirations so many Muslims confess regarding the Jews. And this is very true. And, you know, that we're here, it's a service, obviously, on Christian television for Christian believers, but, you know, it's a service for everybody, that they will know what is happening in Israel. They will have access. We bring you guests who will open, you know, your eyes to different aspects of Jewish and Israeli society, of what's happening here. But this is a service for everybody, and you know, there's all sorts of guests that we've had on that you know, will be very interesting for people. And I know that what Nathalie was saying is that the Islam is a religion, is a totalitarian system which is gaining more and more ground.
And people are under fear. This is the problem, you know. I read so many stories, and you see they gripped by fear, and they are not free. And some Muslim wants to go out of these things. And obviously, Christianity, Jesus brought us freedom. We are close to the festival of Passover, which is a festival of freedom. And the soul of so many people, because we are made in the image of God, so many people have their soul who are like gripped by fear, and they want to feel the freedom. And of course, we know that because Jesus, you know, free our soul, and we are free now. I know that is one of the things when I became born again. Is for me, it was like I'm a freedom fighter.
And you've been reading a very interesting book, haven't you?
Yes.
I don't know where this came from. Maybe from a
by
friend.
America, yeah, no,
from,
by
when you're in
America.
America.
I met this man, Erwin W. Lutzer.
Oh, you met the author?
Yeah. He works with Moody, and I mean with the Moody
Bible
Institute, yeah. And the name of the book is The Cross in the Shadow of the Crescent, and it's very interesting.
Maybe we can show our friends at home the cover.
Sure. So you can see the cross.
Now I should say that we don't have these books in Israel with us.
No, you have to go to Amazon.
But maybe you could get it from Amazon or from a book.
But the very interesting, so this was very interesting, and it is really, some people say this is the best book about Islam, explaining Islam to...
Or the dangers of Islam.
Yes, of course. But like to explain also, because there is few things that I took out of that, that I discovered some Jewish people are not afraid of Islam, they are more afraid of Christianity. And I was puzzled by that, because we can see, the fear, we can see the thing in Islam, and we can see the freedom in Christianity. But obviously for them, it's like if somebody converts, they see it in a bad way. So I understand that. But now, historically, when Islam was very big, especially in the Mediterranean and during Mediterranean area. Yes, thank you. It was especially during the Inquisition. Was it Inquisition? Yeah, the Spanish Inquisition. The Islam wasn't as bad for the Jewish people, and they granted them some freedom, and granted them some respect, and granted them few freedom. So I don't know how they say it. They granted them protection. That's it. Sorry. So because of that, they have in their mind that Islam was good with them, and so they are still thinking, the Jewish people are still thinking that Islam is okay. And it's like, no, but Islam at that time was better than Christianity, but they have to see that the fact is different now. So but you understand, we need to be able to understand how the Jewish people think in a certain way. And some in America, because the Jewish community is very big, they don't feel so frightened than some other community. And they are really like, well, we can give our hand to Islam. And it's like, no, you don't understand. You have to look. They want to grip the heart of people, and obviously is not good. So this is one of the things that I've learned in the book. And one of the things that he's speaking, which was very interesting, he speaks about Turkey. And Turkey was where all the churches from Revelation, and they were growing churches, they were thriving congregation, and suddenly now they were based in Turkey.
And now, if you go to Turkey,
it's 99% are Muslim. Now they are not hard Muslim in certain places, because they are Turk. They are not Arab, so they are a bit, it's a bit different. But still, and the church is still not big at all over there, and it's very difficult to grow. Now, one of the very interesting, I want to tackle this thing also today. I want to tackle very many things today. I want to tackle replacement theology, because we're speaking, there is two types of Christians.
We're going to be, I don't think we're going to have time for
all those things. But quickly, because the Christians who have the Jewish roots are strong and stand with Israel. And there is another type of Christian, which is the majority, which is very big, all in Europe and in America, and they don't have the Jewish roots, and they have replacement theology, and they are not strong against Islam.
Which is replacing Israel with the church.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yes. So, and this is like in Turkey, is exactly what was happening. There was a big church in Constantinople. Again, it was called Constantinople because of the Emperor Constantine, and Constantine was happy to have his empire to become Christian, but he didn't want any Jewish roots anymore in Christianity. So Shabbat was gone, all the feasts were gone, which was what the Christians were doing at the same right at the beginning with the first Christian. And so Constantinople now is Istanbul, and there was a very big church which was called the Church of the Holy Wisdom. And So I'll just read you. The Church of the Holy Wisdom was dedicated by the great Emperor Justinian in AD 537, who, when giving his dedication speech, said, "Solomon, I have outdone thee." And when I read that, I was like, oh gosh, this is like total arrogance. And if you get arrogant, you are, one day or another, you will be going down. And which is very interesting, because we were again speaking about Islam. The mosque has always to be higher than any church or any synagogues. And like again, we're thinking about America, we will rebuild it. And it wasn't in one way of restoration. It was like in arrogance, which is very interesting, because when you see Jerusalem being restored, it's not restored higher or more bigger than it was. It's like when they rebuild the synagogue, they will rebuild them exactly how they were. They want to
I think
restore.
we're out of time.
Are we already?
It's been very interesting, but we've suddenly run out of time. It's been great to be with you. If you'd like to visit the website, don't forget you can go to that at www.inthelastdays.com. We'd love to hear from you with email at info@inthelastdays.com, and you can always write to us. And remember, we're living in the last days.
You've been watching In the Last Days, a TV program with Martin and Nathalie Blackham, the program that looks at Israel and the end times with teaching from a Hebraic perspective. If you would like to financially support the program or find out about conferences, meetings or ministry products, then please contact us with the details on your screen. Visit our easy-to-use website at www.inthelastdays.com and register for our free e-newsletter. Get the latest news from Israel, product information, online video teaching, or watch today's TV program at a time that's convenient to you. Thank you again, friends and partners, for making this program possible.
See you same time, same station for the next program from In the Last Days.